Hey guys, Derek here with Northeast Kayak Fishing TV, and today is April 17th. It is the first day of the Tight Lines Worldwide Catch Fish Not COVID tournament. It's a 3-day tournament, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where your best 19 fish count for the 3 days. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about throwing a jerkbait, how I do it, what my gear is, and what my techniques are. I almost always throw a jerkbait on a spinning rod. I like a medium heavy spinning rod. This is a exotic high performance rod, incredible spinning rod. I run that with a Daiwa Tatula 4000 size reel, spooled up with 15-pound Power Pro, and I run that down to a little tiny power swivel from Spro. That's a 50-pound test swivel. I run that down to a fluorocarbon leader, 12 to 14-pound test, and that's about 3 feet long, I would say, and then you run that down to your favorite jerkbait. Basically you want to throw it out there, make a long cast, reel it down into the water column, let it sit there, take a jerk, let it pause, jerk, jerk, pause, jerk, pause, jerk, jerk, pause, and mix up that cadence, and let the fish let you know how long they want that bait to sit there. I always count, because 90% of the time you're going to get a bite while it's sitting there suspended after you've jerked down, and those fish will run up there and bite it. Make sure you count those down, because a lot of times that's when you're going to get those specific bites, and then you get most of your bites at that count of the pause. So very important. Let's check the time. Oh, look at that. 7 o'clock, line's in. Let's see what we can do. First cast. Again, make a long cast. Right here we're sitting on a drop off. I'm going to reel it so it gets down in there. This drop off runs like this, so we're casting parallel. Keep that jerkbait in the strike zone as long as we can. Reel it down, jerk, jerk, pause, jerk, let it pause, jerk, jerk, pause. Of course this wind's going to pick up. Got 49-degree water temperature today, which is quite a bit warmer than I've seen in the last week or so. So this bite might be on fire today. Oh, had a bite right there. Well, no first cast fireworks, but we'll keep at it. Again, you just want to count that pause. I think the water's a little bit warmer, so I think we're going to be moving a little bit more. So a little bit less of a pause today. We'll We'll see though. Again, we'll let that fish tell us. Again, this water is a lot warmer than I've seen it all week. I've been fishing here for the past couple weeks, and oh, there's one. Oh, that feels like a good one too. Oh yeah, it's a decent bass. So the fish must have pulled off that ledge a little bit further. I was out off the deeper side of it. Looks like a nice largemouth. Oh, he's got a choke too. Guys, that's why we came out. Look at that. He just got that Vision 110 stuffed down his throat. Decent bass. Nice little cold water bass. Again, the jerkbait. This time of year is so tough to beat. Mega bass, Vision 110 +1, the deep diver. Alright guys, like I said, we are in a tournament, so we'll take a minute, measure this fish up, take some pictures, and we'll get right back to Northeast Kayak Fishing TV.
Yo, what's up guys? Anthony Notoroberta with Northeast Kayak Fishing TV. Alright, I wanted to take a quick second today to share with you guys one of my favorite baits to throw during the early spring and into the spawn, and that's going to be a swim jig. They say that the jig is probably one of the most versatile tools in your box, and I think a swim jig takes it to the next level. Especially here where I live on Long Island, the lakes are very shallow. They don't get much deeper than 8 feet, and they're filled with grass and laydowns and lots of overhanging branches. So a swim jig is designed to conquer all of those things, and the one thing I love about it is you can pretty much keep the swim jig rod in your hand most of the day. And I like throwing this jig here. This is a Dirty Jigs finesse swim jig. I feel like it gets a lot more bites, and I get almost as many bites with this as I do on the soft plastic. So but I could cover a lot more with this jig. So I'm going to go over real quick the design of the jig and why it's so good to cover all those areas of fishing. Alright guys, so let's look real quick at the design of the swim jig. The first thing you notice, and probably the most important thing, is this line tie. It's got a vertical line tie on it, and if you look at that, that's going to help it come through grass. Instead of a horizontal line tie where it's going to catch the grass, that vertical line tie is going to help split the grass, so this thing's going to come through it much easier. It also comes through lily pad stalks very easily, and through laydowns as well. When you flip this thing into laydowns and branches, it's going to split through the branches and come out nice and clean. So that's one reason why you can keep this bait in your hand at all times. Another thing that I love about this bait is it has that flat bottom. I put a range chunk trailer on it, and this bait is great for skipping docks and under laydowns. I could skip this thing better than I could skip the soft plastic. So I could literally be going down the bank, skipping under branches, pull it out, make a nice long cast, cover some water real quick, possibly get bit that way. I could throw it through lily pad stems. I could basically, this bait is just like an all-terrain vehicle. It goes through anything. And then I could imitate just about anything that bass eat just by switching out the trailer. So right now I got the rage chunk trailer on there, and if I wanted to imitate a bait fish, I just pop that off. I throw on like either a Rage Menace or a small Kitech, and I can imitate a small bait fish. So just by changing trailers, I keep a couple soft plastics in my pocket, pull them out, and now I got a totally different bait. But I don't have to change rods. I don't have to retie anything. I don't have to pick up and I'm just ready to go, and I can keep this rod in my hand all day long. And I have a firm belief that the more casts you make, the more presentations you make to fish, the more fish you're going to catch throughout the day. So that's why I love keeping a swim jig tied on most of the time in the early spring. Alright guys, so we're going to switch over to the back camera, and I'm going to show you guys a couple scenarios when I'm going down the bank how I fish a swim jig. Alright guys, so right here in front of us, this is one of those perfect scenarios where I love skipping a jig. As you can see, we got some laydowns right up along the shoreline. These bass might be moving up looking to spawn, and by skipping this jig right up in their face, you get a reaction strike out of them. So I'm going to work down this bank a little bit, skipping the jig, and show you how I like to work it. And so we got some laydowns up here. They're like taking the jig and just skipping it up under there, letting it sink down. I'll pop it a few times. If I don't get bit, I don't waste the cast. I didn't get bit, so I like to pop the jig up, and now I just like swimming it back to the boat. So now I'm swimming it and doing what it's intended for, and I'm covering all that water between me and the shoreline, so I'm not wasting the entire cast just skipping. Sometimes you'll skip it up along the shoreline, you won't get bit, but when you pop it up and swim it out, that's when you'll get hit, especially when there's a drop off. So as you can see, I'm covering multiple angles with one single cast. There we go again, skipping it, let it sink down, pop it a couple times, no bites, pop it up, swim it back. See, something just rolled on it. And if I want to make a long cast, cover some water, cast it out, swim it back, just like a regular swim jig. We got some lily pad stems over here, so I'm working this area. I already made 2 casts up here. Now I'm going to cast out to the side, and I'm going to swim it back and bang off those lily pad stalks, looking for a reaction strike. And I'll turn the boat and continue working down the bank. There we go, we got some more laydowns. I can skip to this laydown over here. Bang it off the wood. Nothing, pop it up, swim it back. It's got that nice action on it. Now as I'm working up to this next piece of structure, I got some lily pad stems in front of me. So I'll cast out, and I'll swim it through those stems. Just like a chatterbait or a spinnerbait. Sometimes that subtle action, though, gets bit over this chatterbait or swim bait, especially this time of year. Right through those stems, I feel it banging off of them. Now I get my boat in position. And now I'm going to skip this next laydown. Skipping our structure. No bites. Oh, something just rolled on it. Something just chased it. Damn it. See, when I was swimming it back, I got rolled on by a small fish. I think it was a bluegill, but still. See, I didn't get bit when I skipped it up on the shoreline, but as soon as I started swimming it out, something smashed it. There he is. There we go, guys. See? Mr. Pickerel. Caught a pickerel, but see? As soon as I skipped it up on the shoreline. So it's not necessarily just for swimming. As soon as I skipped it up along the shoreline, he was sitting there, got a reaction strike, and he ate it. There he is. Got another one. Pickerel biting today. Come here. So as you guys could see, that's why I love throwing the swim jig during the early spring and into the spawn. Tight lines, guys.
What's up, guys? Wally here from Wally Outdoors. Today I wanted to show you guys my setup for what I use when I do some jig fishing, especially in the early season. So basically what I do, I got a St. Croix rod here. It's a medium heavy. It's a rod that I generally use for just this particular style of jig fishing. I have a finesse jig here, which is what I'm usually throwing in the early season. As the season progresses and the water warms up, I like to go with something a little bit bigger, a little beefier. And as far as trailer goes, I don't like something with a ton of movement too. I just want like that traditional beaver style trailer. That seems to do the trick. The fish don't necessarily like something that's got a lot of movement, a lot of wiggle, so to speak, to it. Later in the season, as the water warms, all my baits I'm going to transition to something with a little more movement. So you stick with those two rules of thumb, you should be pretty good. You'll notice you're going to get some more bites. So this jig happens to be in a sunfish color, but also quickly talk about water. Water clarity is really important. I personally won't throw a jig in real clear water unless it's a natural colored jig or something more along the lines of white or a clear skirt, white or something like that. The water I'm going to be fishing here today is really stained, and it's going to be something where this kind of natural color or even a darker colored jig is going to work the best. So those are the things you're going to really want to pay attention to, and I promise you guys will get some more bites. Stay small in the early season when the water temperature is under 50, and you guys will get more fish. That's no doubt about it. I'm going to go along the shoreline here and see if we can get a couple, so stay tuned.
Alright guys, this is a couple quick clips of me using the this particular jig and trailer in action. You get to see me catch a fish or two on it. I'm just going to explain to you what's going on here. Where I'm at right now in the kayak is it's pretty deep. It's like 13 or 14 feet. And I'm just pitching and flipping this jig up here along this rock wall. And the fish happen to be really tight this day, as you're going to see. So I have my friend Dan with me here, so you might hear me talking to him once in a while. But yeah, I'm going to catch one.
There's one. Dude, I told you. Told you, bro. That's a decent fish, too.
Okay, so the water temperature here is about 47 degrees.
Yes, sir. Yeah, nice, real nice one. I mean, nicer than what I've been getting, put it that way.
Alright guys, on this next one, you're going to look closer. You can see my jig just land right there. You see the brush moving. That's very key here, watching when this fish hits.
Dude, they're up tight. Dude, they're up tight, bro. I don't know if we should leave just yet. Come here, baby. That fish was like kissing the shoreline.
Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed these couple of clips here of me catching fish on that jig. Just remember water temperature this time of year. Try to go small. Use a smaller profile jig, and you're going to get more bites. You're still going to get big bites, and as the water temperature rises, you're going to want to use a trailer that's got some more movement to it. They will eat this beaver style trailer year round, but I find that something's got a little more movement. Works a little better for me when the water gets warmer. So good luck out there. I hope you guys all catch the big one, and take care. Tight lines.